Hello everybody, I'm Mark Brewster. Thank you for watching WSSR-TV. I'm here today with Chris Chevalier. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks.
So I understand that you are here to help yourself and your cause get more publicity.
It's exactly what I'm trying to get.
Well, is there anything that you would like to start off to just tell us about what you're doing?
Well, what I am doing is a project in conjunction with PLTI, which is the Parent Leadership Training Institute. And what that does is it's a 20-week course and trains parents how to be advocates for their kids and families and leaders in the community, from the local level all the way up as far as you want to go, right up to the federal level, if that's what you feel needs to be done in order to make a better world for your family and kids. We learn about advocacy, we learn about the law, we learn about the social structures of our city, and what I want to do is put that to use and make a change in the fabric of our families and our community that hopefully will help kids.
Yes.
So,
I like it. What do you feel are some of the major problems with families nowadays?
I think that our lives have become so hectic and so time constrained that there are these cracks that maybe didn't exist in our community 50 years ago when you always had a stay-at-home parent. That's not possible. I mean, so many families aren't even two-parent families anymore.
Yeah.
So what I feel is that there are these cracks in the fabric of our lives, and too often the youth of our community are falling into those cracks. And it may just be for 15 minutes a day, it may be for a couple hours a day, but there's this time where there are choices to be made by our kids. They're making decisions for themselves, and I think it would behoove us to make sure that there's a responsible adult that they trust to always be around. So my project is called The Light in the Cracks, the light being the youth, and the cracks being that time where, a kid might really need a parent around, a parent figure around.
Yes.
And we want to figure out ways to seal those cracks. And I think the best way to drive an impetus for that forward is to make parents more aware of the risks that kids are facing today and those times when they can't be around.
That's great, and I do definitely agree that it is a growing issue. Parents not always being there or not always being, I guess you could say, on par. And I do completely agree that spreading awareness will more likely, making parents aware of the issues will help to minimize the problem. What steps are you taking to help spread that awareness as of right now?
So what I envision this project being is going to be a play, a stage show, but I want it to be a dramatization of the real stories of the youth of Sanford. So what I have right now is I've set up a website, and I'm asking for anonymous submissions of your stories. It can be written out as a scene. It can just be some words about how you're feeling and what you felt at a time where you faced some pressure to try marijuana, to watch porn on the computer, to maybe go outside with some questionable people that mom or dad wouldn't want you to be with. Tell us about those times. What happened? What choices did you make? What choices would you have made differently had there been someone there to help support you? We'll take those stories, we'll change the names and change the places so that no one knows exactly who these stories are being submitted by. And we'll cast a show, and we're going to put it on for the parents of Sanford. And from out of that, I'm hoping to create an awareness, and I want to hopefully foster a sense of community, that we're all in this together. It may seem like, as a parent, your time is just so stretched and so thin, and that you don't have enough time available. But as a community, I think we do. And I think that if we talk about it, and if we try to include in our lives resources like the community resource officers that we have here in the school, like social workers, like clergymen, psychologists, anybody who has a love of kids, I think we can all work together and try to find some solutions to minimize these risks that kids are facing today.
Yeah, I love it. I think definitely, like we are told all the time that the next generation is, you know, the future and whatnot. So spreading awareness to help just improve the connections between all of them is great. And you said you were accepting completely anonymous stories.
Correct.
They can be personal experiences or maybe secondhand experiences.
It can be secondhand experiences. I will treat it as if it's a secondhand experience pretty much for any story that's coming in,
yes.
Because it's going to then be changed by me anyways. Mm-hmm. And this is all to make sure, of course, we're protecting the families and kids. You know, we're not trying to call out anyone. We're trying to find solutions. Yes. So you go to the website, which is www.thelightinthecracks.org. Mm-hmm. And you can choose to put a name down. It does not have to be your actual name. And there is no, it comes literally when I get the email that a submission has come through, it comes through as if it came from myself. I never see anything about a web address or anything. So it is completely anonymous. And you know, and that's important because, again, the safety of everyone involved is paramount. You know, we don't want to create a problem before, as we're trying to create solutions.
Yeah. For possibly kids who are in these types of situations of falling into the cracks, are you guys providing any sort of resources to possibly help them?
I'm certainly collecting resources. I've already reached out to the city in terms of the police department. I am working with PLTI and its resources. I've already posted a few resources that are available for parents on the website, and that will be a growing list as time goes on. Yep. I've only been doing this since January, so we've still got a ways to go in terms of building them up, and I welcome any ideas. My web address is right there on the website. You can email me with any ideas that you might have for a good, positive resource.
I love it. I love what you're trying to do.
Thanks.
And I definitely fully support it. I know the future may be a little bit unclear at the moment, but do you have any sort of goals or expectations for when all of it should be completed, or when you should be, Sure. getting to the pinnacle of when it should all be all set?
So I will be having auditions later this month and into early March. We'll spend March taking the stories that are submitted and working with the cast and anybody else who wants to work as a writer into a script. And I want that to be kids. I want that to be teens and adolescents in the community to help me write that. I don't want this to be my voice. This is the voice of the youth of Sanford.
Yes.
And that will be through March. In April, we will start actually doing rehearsals in a space yet to be determined. So if anyone knows any good spaces out there to use, please let us know. And finalize our final productions in May. We're looking at May 22nd and 23rd at the Nassau Little Theater to hold the production. We may have additional ones. I'm going to try to look at the availability of the high school, of Sanford High, to maybe stage an additional show if it's possible. After that, I'll try to get some resources there together, and I hope to have them there at the show at the end so that there's communication with parents and some leaders in the community that have some great concepts of what we can do to help support families and trying to help seal those cracks and letting our kids be, have just stronger, more vibrant, fear-free lives.
Yes.
So, and then from there, we're going to continue to support the website, continue to support the conversation, and review it if we need to do it, again for another group of parents. this is something that can keep repeating. We can keep growing until we feel that the word is out there and the community is starting to actually work together to make a change.
Yeah, I love it, and I definitely think it's a very good cause to get behind, and I definitely think you'll be able to find plenty of support for it and plenty of resources with due time, of course. I
certainly hope so. It's a great community.
All right. So are there any parting comments that you would like to say? Anything about your cause or about...
I just, I grew up in Sanford. I have a son here in high school. This is a place that I love and a people, a community that I love. Yeah. And I just want it to be the best that we all can make it. And right. That's the goal here.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me today.
You're very welcome. Thanks.
Chris Chevalier, everyone. This has been WSSR-TV. I definitely look forward to seeing the project being completed.
I look forward to you all being there and watching it grow.
All right. Thank you very much.